Today we're going to be discussing texting and driving, whether or not it should or should not be legal. Now before we get started, let me ask you a question. Do you personally believe that you should be allowed to text and drive? Now actually answer that question. Don't just watch the video. Answer it out loud if you want to. Now before we get into the answer to that question, I would like to say that all of you who know who I am know that I'm a huge believer in the individual freedoms, okay? Individual rights. However, there are situations where you do lose some of your freedoms, and the reason for that is your rights end where someone else's rights begin. The reason it is illegal and wrong for you to kill somebody is because you are infringing upon their right to live. That's why you don't have the right to just go out and kill people, because it infringes upon the rights of others. Now, I used to be really upset when Vestavia Hills in Alabama here passed a city ordinance banning texting and driving. And I used to be very upset over that. But I've had a complete change of heart, because going back to the original thing I just said of your rights end where someone else's begin, I would like to say that in the last 30 days of me driving my motorcycle and one of my cars, I have almost been killed almost 10 different times. Alright? And every single time, it was somebody playing on their phone. Okay, now I asked you a question at the beginning of this video, and you were supposed to answer, do you agree that you should be allowed to text and drive? I know the argument is, well, it's my car, it's my phone, I can do what I want, okay? Would you, if you answered yes to that question, would you personally have a problem? I'm going to ask you another question here. Would you personally have a problem if you looked over, when you're driving, you looked over and you saw me sitting there with a newspaper folded over my steering wheel reading? Would you have a problem with that? Now, I'm going to guess that most of the people who said, yes, I should be able to text in my own car. It's my phone, it's my car, I should be able to text in there. I'm guessing that most of the people who said that probably have a problem with me reading the newspaper while driving down the road. Now, my question is, why? It is the same concept. You are reading on your phone. I used to be completely against any laws against texting and driving, but in just this last month, an example would be the other day, I was driving down the road. I live in the backwoods. I'm driving. I'm on my motorcycle, making all these turns. I'm going the speed limit, doing my thing, you know, and I'm making these turns and having a good time, just enjoying myself. And as I turn a corner, okay, an SUV is 100% in my lane, okay? I saw my life flash before my eyes. I thought I was about to die. There's nowhere for me to go, okay? Down on the side of the road, it's like a 60-foot drop. If I go off the road, I'm going to go down this drop, hit these huge oak trees, or I can head on with this car, or I can whip into the other lane, and they see what's happening. They whip back in and hit me. If they had not corrected themselves, I would have died. That's one of the examples, and this has happened numerous times over the last month. And it's made me realize that texting and driving is a crime. It should be a crime everywhere we go, and for very good reasons. Now, how did I know they were texting and driving? I laid down on my horn. The only thing I could do was hit the horn and hit the brakes. I'm fishtailing. Back of my bike is, I'm about to lose control. They're flying around this corner going 60 miles an hour. And as they almost hit me, we came within an inch of slamming into each other. They whip back into their lane, and this is what I see as they pass me. They're playing on the phone. They didn't even have the frame of mind to even drop the phone and recorrect their position. They're, oh shit, playing on their phone. They, oh shit, whip into the other lane, and they just keep on going. And that's what I see everywhere I go. When you're texting and driving, that's what you're doing. You're reading. You're reading and you're typing. It's no different than me having a newspaper, driving down the road, reading the sports page. Okay? It's dangerous, and you're putting other people's lives in danger. And I love the argument. I'm good at texting and driving. I'm really good at it. The problem is, no, you're not. You think you are, because you aren't paying attention to the road. That's why you think you're good at texting and driving, okay? What everyone else sees is this. You're sitting in your lane. Oh, whoa. And then you swerve into another lane. Whoa. Whoa. That's what we see. We see you swerving in and out of traffic because you're trying to text and read. It's the same concept if I was reading that newspaper or if I'm reading a book driving down the road. I'm not going to be able to keep my eyes, even if it's for a minute, just to read a single sentence. A single sentence. You have taken your eyes off the road. You've taken your concentration off the road. You are 100% no longer paying attention to the road. But your mind isn't on the road. You're putting other people in danger. And like I said, I used to be a huge supporter of texting and driving because I felt like it infringed upon the freedoms of the American people. It's your phone. It's your car. You're in public. It's not the government's job to tell you when you can't text on your phone. That's the argument I used to have. However, I've completely, after everything I've been looking at, I completely changed my mind on this situation. This has become a serious problem. Every single day I drive, I'm starting to see more and more people that aren't paying attention to the road. Now, the 10 times that I told you in the last month that I've almost been killed, that was true. I've literally almost been killed 10 times in the last month from somebody texting and driving because they're on the wrong side of the road and they're not paying attention. Okay? But that does not count the amount of times that I have been on the interstate driving down the road, heading to the store. I've got my family in the car. I'm just driving, and you see a car up in front of you just swerving in and out, weaving back and forth out of traffic just over and over and over. And you're just like, what the hell are they doing? So you hit the gas to try to get in front of them. And what do I see as I pass them? This. They've got a phone in their hand, and they're texting, and they're swerving all over the road. They're so focused on their phone, they don't give a shit. They open up their eyes and look up and see that they're in another lane, and what do? Oh, shit, and keep going. They keep texting like it's no big deal. I was in another lane. It's all right. Those people are killing other people every single day, okay? So should texting and driving be illegal? Absolutely. Have you heard about drunk drivers? They have a little breathalyzer in their car, and it will not crank until they breathe into their car. Well, the same people who passed that legislation were considering passing legislation where all present vehicles that were sold had to be equipped with radio frequency jamming technology, and the only thing you could do on your phone was dial 911. That's it. The only person that you can talk to are the police or the fire department, okay? That's it. All right? It would block out texting and all that other stuff, and it was automatic. Every phone that got in that car, it doesn't matter. They're all jammed while you're driving. And I remember I made a video about that. I was like, that is the absolute most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I was so against it. I'm for it. At this point, I'm for it because too many people are dying because of this stuff every day. Your rights end where someone else's begin. I keep saying that because it's a very important piece of information. When you drive down the road and you're playing on your phone and you're reading and typing, you're putting other people in danger so that you can say, yeah, I'm coming, I'm going to be at the mall in 15 minutes. You think that's worth killing 5 people when you have a wreck, a 10-car pileup? It's not. Nothing, absolutely nothing you could be saying in a text message is that important. If it's an important conversation, the type of conversation that needs to take place immediately, you have several other options. You can keep your eyes on the road and make a phone call. If it's so important that you can't focus during a phone call and actually make that drive, you can pull over. Oh, I have to sit on the side of the road for 2 minutes. If it's an important phone call, you can do that. But, I'm just rambling at this point. But, I'm 100% for banning texting and driving countrywide. It is absolutely dangerous. I've seen it firsthand, repeatedly. It's gotten out of hand. Too many people... Kids these days have iPhones at 4 years old, and I've seen some kids online, they've got, iPhones at 2. Their parents are on Facebook. I got my little girl an iPhone for Christmas. How old's your little girl? 2. Oh, wow. So we're going to go ahead and teach all the kids at a very young age how to play on the phone, and then at the same time we don't teach them that texting and driving is wrong because we sit behind the wheel and text right in front of them.